Now, Carving Out the Eyes of God, your latest album, it's getting a lot of attention and a lot of recognition. I mean, I'm seeing you guys on all these top 10 lists. People are talking about the album. And are you guys seeing a palpable difference in the crowds that you're getting just from maybe the last tour, you know, or just the last album in general? Like, are you guys, because I'm noticing a big difference in the kind of response that you guys are getting, how many people have now heard of you. Are you guys seeing that?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that just,
you know,
have only heard the newest album and haven't heard anything else by Goatwhore, which is cool. That's the whole point. Now they can do their homework and go back to the start, you know.
Yeah, even from A Haunting Curse to this record, there's people that have come to the show that, you know, Carving is their first record for Goatwhore, you know, and then they kind of go back. And then it was just like when Carving came out, there was people that never heard of us because, you know, the difference too between the labels that we were on and the distribution and being able to be a little bit more available to people, it helps out. Because a lot of times when a kid goes into a store, he wants what's there on the spot, you know, and it's that sometimes that helps out a little more. And I know it's a little different now too because you have, you know, you have iTunes, you have digital downloads, but still there's so many damn bands out there, and the kind of maybe more ads for your band and people's faces gets, you know, them interested in actually checking it out because they're swarmed constantly with different bands.
Yeah. Okay. Zach, you're from Arizona, and you've said before that the road is your home. On your, I think it's on your Facebook, you call yourself a heavy metal transient. So I think you've said you crash on couches, you go to New Orleans sometimes. Every time you post, you're somewhere, you know, you're in Mexico or you're in Philadelphia or whatever. How do you work out the practice schedules and getting together with the band to write music and stuff since they're all based in the same state and you're a transient?
Well, basically, I don't know, we're on the road so much anyway, so when we have like a week off or 2 weeks off between a tour, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll go see my dad for a little bit or whatever, but, you know, so I'm there most of the time anyway. It's like, jam it, you get at least a few days, 5 days in before a tour or something, and if we're going in to record or something, I'll be there for, you know, a couple months to finish writing and get all that sorted out. So.
Okay. Ben, you write most of the lyrics for Goatwhore. Sam, you write some of them too. Is that right? Really good writing. You've got an amazing vocabulary. There's a lot of vivid imagery in your writing. It's a lot more than just words to music. I mean, if you read the liner notes, it gives you some pretty vivid stuff to think about. Do you ever get writer's block or find yourself just kind of at a lyrical impasse when you're trying to create songs?
Yeah, there comes times. I mean, I think it's natural among all writing, even musically, lyrically, anything. There just comes a point where I think what it is sometimes is that you're in it so much, and I'm sure y'all do this too. It gets to be so much where you just got to go, all right, we're going to step away from it for the rest of the night, or take a day off from it and kind of let it breathe out and then come back to it. Because I find when you do that too and you come back, it opens up even more. You know, it seems like sometimes you're just jamming yourself so much into it and you have to step away from it. You know, it's part of being kind of like procrastinator too, because I procrastinate a good bit as well.
I hadn't noticed.
But I mean, I love a thesaurus. I use it a lot because I don't really like to repeat a lot of words. So I try to find and manipulate different words that could be maybe abstract meanings for certain words, so I don't have to repeat so many things.
Okay, and you're a very consistent advocate of a real heavy upfront guitar sound in your records. I've heard you talk about that a bunch of times before. You're probably a lot more of a vocal advocate for your bandmates than a lot of other vocalists would be. Do you have a background in playing any instrument yourself besides singing?
No, not really. I mean, I dabbled with the guitar when I was younger, but not really anything. I mean, I like the music is, you know, I mean, vocals, you know, they fit in a spot and everything, but the music is basically the element of everything of the whole structure, you know. And I'm not saying just bury the vocalist, whatever, but you can definitely have a really good mix and have everything come across well. You can have the drums coming out, you can have the guitars coming out, you know, and I see a lot of records that come out nowadays by metal bands and the guitars are really pushed back and it's a lot of like vocals, a lot of drums and vocals, you know. And I mean, the drums and the guitars are the element that create the structure of it, you know, and create the force. And then, if anything, the vocals may add to elements throughout the song. So nothing should be basically sacrificed within it. They all should be present, and they all have a meaning there. Even the bass too, you know, because I know people are always like, well, I don't know about the bass, I don't hear it, but the bass is an underlying factor too, and it makes a difference. So, you know, everything should equally be as heard.
Okay. Now regarding your vocals, I've heard lots of clever ways to describe them in different publications. A violent attack, a possessive snarl, that kind of thing. Can you sing any other style besides extreme metal, or do you? Could you bust out like some Luther Vandross type situation if you ever needed to?
I don't think so. No, I mean, I've never really chased after like actual like singing, you know. I mean, I'm into a lot of vocalists like that, you know. I'm into like Priest a lot with the way Halford manipulates his vocals, you know. I mean, if you listen to every Priest record, he kind of does something different, you know, on each one, you know, but it's still signature Halford. And I was really big fan of Freddie Mercury at Queen, but I don't think I could ever really hit that kind of peak like those guys ever did. I mean, they're remarkable at what they do.
Zach, can you sing at all?
No.
All right. I'm about to wrap it up, but basically every time I interview a band, I do this kind of thing at the end where I ask them to kind of pay it forward and to let people know about a band or, you know, a musician, somebody that you just think is somebody that has a lot of promise, that's one to watch, somebody that you're really into, maybe up and coming on the scene. I mean, who are you guys listening to these days? Who are you know, hoping maybe gets a little bit more recognition than they're getting right now? Is there anyone that comes to mind?
I think Skeleton Witch deserves a little bit.
Yeah, they're really great friends of ours. We toured with them a few times, and they're definitely coming up. And
yeah, they progressed really good in I think a short amount of time. You know, they're really good.
They kick ass, seriously.
Yeah. I mean, live, they have a lot of energy, you know, and they write a lot of really good, like, old, it's like kind of like old thrash mixed with some other ideas, you know, but they pull it off really well, you know. And we're not saying we're friends with them or anything, but...
Well, that's okay. I mean
you're friends with a lot of bands when you tour, you know, you meet a lot of people, but they really, and they have this thing about them that, you know, they want it. They want to go out there and play and do it, you know, where sometimes you come across bands and they're just like, they're there for some other reason you can't quite pinpoint. You can tell that they're there because they like playing metal and everything like that, you know. And there's a bunch of bands, you know, that are doing a lot of really good things. I mean, even like Toxic Holocaust, the Acacia Strain, Job for a Cowboy, Black Dahlia Murder, you know, they all have different things that they're doing to evolve the scene and evolve metal and keep it moving forward instead of letting everything just go boom into a fucking goddamn funnel.
Okay. All right. That wraps it up. Thank you.